Hey Bayek, it's me Ian. And in today's video, I'm continuing my look at the Hammer House of Horror TV series. And we are at episode 8. And it is The Children of the Full Moon, which was transmitted on the 1st of November 1980 on ITV. And what a story this is. I'm going to say it. It's a werewolf story. I don't think that's giving too much away. It is a fantastic story. It really is. Just, I love it. It's one of those that you always remember. I remembered this right from when it was first transmitted. Now, it's 52 minutes long. It's written by Murray Smith. I noticed he did a screenplay for The Comeback, 1978, which was a Pete Walker film. Yes, Pete Walker. That was a horror film. He also, I've never seen this series, but he was involved in a TV series called The Stranger from 1978 to 1982, and he did 20 episodes of that. I think it was quite a success. And also another film called Bear Island, 1979. Yeah, I know, that's him. Now, the director is Tom Clegg. Now, he was the director of Sweeney 2. Oh, yes, Sweeney 2 from 1978. Brilliant, that, wasn't it? Wasn't it brilliant, that? I absolutely loved that one. And a very popular crime film as well, starring Roger Daltrey McVicker. So you can't say fairer than that, can you? Lots of TV series, episodes and TV films, but those are the two that really stand out. Then let's get to the cast. We've got, top of the cast there, Christopher Cazenove, who plays Tom. He's a lawyer. Now, if we look at he's got very much a TV kind of career, really, but he has appeared in some cinema films. He appeared actually in Royal Flash, which is kind of a comedy, historical comedy in 1975 with Malcolm McDowell. And he was also in Zulu Dawn, which pops up quite a few times in 1979. And he was in a film that I talk about that I really must get in my collection, which is Heat and Dust from 1983, which stars the wonderful Julie Christie. I've just got so many good memories about that one. He also was in A Knight's Tale from 2001, which is quite a popular film, that was. But also he's well known, and I've seen him in this TV series. It was a classic 80s padded shoulder TV series, Dynasty. Yes. Oh yes, the one with starring the wonderful Joan Collins. But he was in 35 episodes. No, 35 episodes from 1986 to 1987. That's just amazing. Very camp sort of TV show, but very good. Very such fun. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. It is a lot. Has a dedicated following. Anyhow, so there is lots of TV roles as well, and he's a familiar face. Then we've got Celia Gregory playing his partner Sarah. Now, she was in a film called The Baby of Macron from 1973, which is a Pete Greenaway film. Yes, Pete Greenaway, who's a director who directs a lot of arty house films as well. Yes, she was in that one. But again, it's just lots of TV series and TV movies. Sadly, she's no longer with us. She died quite young, 58 years old. And then next we've got, well, what can I say? What a performance in this film. It's Diana Dawes. We mentioned Diana Dawes quite a lot. She plays Mrs. Ardoy. Wow. That's all I've got to say. It just shows you what a great actor she was able to transform into. I know she started off as like a pin-up kind of role with Britain's answer to Marilyn Monroe kind of things, and she got involved in sort of various films and never quite made it in Hollywood, but she was always a great actress as her career developed. She did start at one time not getting such good roles, then she got into TV. When you look at CV, she started going right back to 1947. Films that are quite interesting were, let's see, Yield to the Night, which is from 1956, and Tread Softly, Stranger, 1958. She did appear in like that one, which the 1958 film is a sort of film noir film. And she's great in it, absolutely superb. Then, of course, we found her recently, more recently, in Berserk, 1967, with the legendary Joan Crawford was in that. Yes, she's in that, and quite a crucial role in that film. Also, another film that pops up a lot in British films is Baby Love, 1969. She was in that. And, of course, she's in a film that I absolutely adore and talk about, Theatre of Blood, 1973, the Vincent Price vehicle. I had lots of British actors in there. Fantastic film. And, of course, it's not a big role, but she's in Step on Sun Ride Again, 1973. And the Jack Palance Mad as a Hatter film, Craze, from 1974. She's great in that as well. But really, this is a great role that she plays in this. She is fantastic. Then we've got Robert Urquhart playing Harry. Not a big role in the film, but he's there, isn't it? Now, what is he? He goes right back to 1954 in films, but his career really hit the high, if you want to say, in terms of appearing in films, in The Curse of Frankenstein, 1958. So we have got a massive connection there. The Curse of Frankenstein, what a film that is. Fantastic film. The Gothic horror era really well and truly got going there for Hammer. And then he's just in lots of TV films and TV series. There's a face that just pops up. And then we've got, now this is an interesting character. Again, not in it that much. Jacob Whitcrin. Yes, Whitcrin. He plays the woodcutter. Here, you've got to have a woodcutter in these, like, tales, haven't you? Now, immediately I thought, wow, he was in Love and Death from 1975, which I absolutely love. It's a Woody Allen comedy film. It's kind of based on War and Peace, and it's so funny and it's brilliant. But of course, Woody Allen is not everybody's cup of tea. And here, people, if you're a cult follower, he was in Showgirls 1995. Yes, the film that gets a lot of this and that in there. The shenanigans that go on here, my heck. Anyhow, that's Showgirls. So, now then, let me just talk a little bit about the productions. Okay, all these Hammer films really have a lot of locations in Buckinghamshire, and it really makes it, doesn't it? They were fortunate to have such countryside and locations very near them when they were filming, and it's beautifully filmed again. So we have got it starts some of the London locations. I love seeing all these London locations as well. Kensington, we see quite a bit, certainly scenes in Kensington. And then, of course, we get Great Hampden. Great Hampden always pops up, doesn't it, in these? And Hampden House, Buckinghamshire. Wow. I just love it. I mean, they couldn't ask for anything more. These woodland scenes and all the countryside, and absolutely amazing. And the house as well that we see. Wow, it's just superb. It just adds even more to these stories. So let me talk to you about this, what the plot is. I'm not going to say too much, but you know it's a kind of werewolf story. But hey, basically, Tom and Sarah are going for a week holiday. He's come back from one of his trips in America, where he's kind of a bit of a high-flying lawyer, and he takes there's a reward. They go to a cottage. They're supposed to be going to a cottage for a break. However, the break they get is a breakdown of the car, and so they end up stranded in the middle of nowhere. Now you're saying, why can't they phone up? Well, they have to go and get a phone. People didn't have mobile phones then. Anyhow, nowadays, of course, if it's a horror film, there's no signal. But the normal phones, you have to go and get a landline. And so they try and find somewhere, some sort of civilization. And in the woodland area, find a gate, and then go towards this, following this trail. And it ends up in this big house. And of course, they meet the rather creepy Mrs. Ardoy and these children as well. I love the way it's played. You know, it's already unsettling, very unsettling, and you get little clues here and there. They ring up, but nobody can get there to rescue the car, get it sorted out. So they have to stay the night there. Oh, yes, you're inviting trouble, especially if you hear wolves howling. Yes, you get this what I love, it's like a folky fairy tale feel. I was thinking of The Company of Wolves. I know it is a bit different in tone, but there's this wonderful, wonderful way they do it. It's just fantastic. It really is. The story, I think the story is very clever. It's well weaved together and what's happening, and the ending is great as well. I just love it. I don't know why. It's just so good, this story. It's one that lingers. Its atmosphere and the performances, everything about it is just great. Now, if you want some trivia about this, apparently, the last few minutes, they were sort of blacked out because the electrical disaster happened. All the electricity went out in most areas of the country. There was a blackout. So people didn't see the end, which is quite interesting because you need to see the end. So there was such a call for this that ITV the following week repeated this episode again. Yeah. Could you imagine them doing that nowadays? I don't know, but I think that's fascinating. That the fact is that people really loved this, and they were such complaints. They wanted to see the end of the show, and yeah, that's how it was in those days. Because in 1980 there was no video recordings, that people had on a wide scale. There wouldn't have been. It was only just getting into the 80s, so people nowadays might have recorded it. But mind you, even then, of course, if you'd recorded it, it would have still chopped off anyhow. So you couldn't. That's the logic. I don't know what I was thinking I saying about that, but you could get all the tapes. You couldn't buy these episodes or anything, but they repeated it, which I think is great. And another thing is, and I'd love to see this as a full version, because there are cuts were made of the sexual content. I don't know anything else about that, or there's no mention of it, what these cuts were, but that's what is said. It's sexual content, because of the TV, maybe. But they have been quite, sexually explicit. But yeah, there were cuts in it. And that's it. Absolutely wonderful story. Highly recommended. And yeah, I'm really so pleased to have watched it again. It's one that you can come back to, even if you know the ending. It doesn't matter. It's a great story. Here we are. I always show it. Brilliant network Blu-ray release. All those 13 episodes on there. Yes, and that's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Then we'll let you know when I produce all these videos, and you can find out, look in playlists. And also, if you do like this, please give it a like. It gets it out onto YouTube, into algorithms. Hopefully people might like it, or they might not. And if you've got any comments, please put some comments down. I do love to read your comments. And it all costs note. You can't say fairer than that, can they? By heck, you can't. It's all free, eh? By heck. Anyhow, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.